What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Real Short Talks with Ryan, where my goal is to help you encounter God, experience Him, and engage with His mission. So we're going to be kicking off a new little short series as we walk through the spiritual disciplines. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be talking about worship. Who we worship, why we worship, what worship is, how we worship, the when and the where of worship, all about worship. Today specifically, we are going to be talking about the who and the why of worship. Worship is foundational to who we are as Christians, so we need to take some time to talk about it. So we're going to be looking at Deuteronomy chapter 6 today as we talk about this, the who and the why of worship. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 13. It says, "It is the Lord your God you shall fear. Him you shall serve, and by his name you shall swear." So this word here, fear, we got to focus on it for just a second. He says, "It is the Lord your God you shall fear." Now, a lot of times when we hear fear, we're like, oh, we're afraid of something. Maybe it makes us shake. We're uncertain about it. That's not always how the Hebrews use the word fear. In this particular case, it means a reverential awe of something, an acknowledgement of a proper positioning. You see someone, in this case, God, and you acknowledge that his position, his status is greater than your own, right? We're going to talk about this next week, but in a lot of ways, that is the heart of worship, of acknowledging that God is greater. So what he's saying here, and there's a reason that when Jesus quotes this passage in Matthew chapter 4, the New Testament translates it as, "It is the Lord your God you shall worship." Moses is saying, "It is the Lord your God you shall fear." He is the one that you worship. Who do we worship? We worship God. That should be perhaps obvious, but it's so important that we remember this. When we gather for worship, when we have times of private worship on our own, who are we looking to? Who are we worshiping? We are worshiping God. We are worshiping the creator of the universe, the one that created you and me, the one that loves us. We are worshiping God. But why do we worship him? Why is God worthy of being worshiped more than anyone else? Well, if we back up a little bit, Moses says in verse 10, he says, "And when the Lord your God brings you into the land that he swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give you, with great and good cities that you did not build, and houses full of all good things that you did not fill, and cisterns that you did not dig, and vineyards and olive trees that you did not plant, and when you eat and you're full." So what he's saying here is, hey, when God gives you all of these things, when God gives you these blessings, you are going to worship him. We worship God because A, he is worthy, B, because he has commanded us to worship him, but we worship him because of all of the good things that he has done. We worship him because of his great love for us, for these blessings that he has given to us. He gave the Israelites these specific ones, but he has given us so many more blessings, right? He has given us, namely, Jesus, his only son who died on the cross for our sins. We worship him for these things. Even if he had never done anything for us, we would still worship him. But because he has done so much for us, we have even more reason to worship him. That is why we worship him, for who he is and for what he has done. So spend some time, worship God today. If you don't have a church home and you're watching this, we would love to have you join us for our gathered worship on Sunday mornings here at East Main at 1045 in the sanctuary. We've got a spot for you. If you are a regular attender of East Main Baptist Church, hey, we'd love to see you Sunday. We're excited to see you. It's going to be a great day of worshiping the Lord together. We'll see you soon.